Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at game number 2 between the little one and Socke. This time we're here on the Shatter Temple. We do have the little one spawning here in the 3 o'clock position as our red Terran player. And then up over here in the 12 o'clock is Socke as the yellow Protoss player. So yes, game number 2 in the series here between the little one and Socke. Socke ended up winning last game. We saw the little one take a very early 3rd expansion. Socke scouted it out with his Observer Scout, then moved up into Colossus, pushed out with a 2-base strong push, and it was just way too much for the little one to handle. The mentality, of course, behind that is, you know, when you move out into expansion, you spend resources on the expansion. If you change it into an orbital command, you spend resources on additional SCVs. All of these things set you behind in army size. And if your opponent's sticking on those 2 bases, as we saw Socke do, and pushing out and spending all of his resources on an army instead, you can become overwhelmed. Now, there is a window, of course, because if you have your expansion up long enough, then you take advantage of those resources, and then you have a huge economic advantage over your opponent, and with that you're able to afford a larger army. But again, we saw Socke move out at a great time, was able to take advantage of the fact that the little one was temporarily behind in army size, and then he stopped mining from that 3rd, eventually ended up taking it out, and just put himself in a phenomenal position. So there you go, that was game number 1, and here we are again on game number 2. Close air distance again this game, much more relevant in this particular map though. Last map on Shakur's Plateau, it's still a relatively far distance, but here in the Shattered Temple, as you can see, very, very close. It is a stone's throw to your opponent's base here, so airplay, certainly probable. Drop play, especially from the little one, could be very effective. Now, we are going to see Socke move up and scout out immediately. The little one did see the direction that Socke was moving from. That should tip him off to actually move up here into that 12 o'clock position. Socke will be doing a little bit of probe harass, getting a couple shots off on the SCV. We should be seeing the little one pull off with 1 worker. Never mind. The Rax finishes in time. Actually, for some reason, wasn't looking at the completion bar of that Rax. So the Rax finishes in time. SCV goes back to mining, and here comes that Marine. Dropping down the depot, temporarily delaying that probe from maybe able to run back to the resource line and try to damage that SCV. And here comes that first Marine. We'll be forcing that probe out of the base, and there you go. Back over here, inside of Socke's base, we can see first gateway is up. Zealot coming on through. Little one scouting this out. He has spotted that there is no second assimilator yet. Do expect him to stay in the base until that Cybernex core finishes, and even a few moments after that, because it will be a little while until that first stalker comes out. But he does want to see when and if Socke does drop down that second assimilator. That is certainly very, very important information. Socke, on his return trip back home, will be returning with a rich mineral field patch. And wants to try to get at least some resources for all that not mining time that scouting worker was doing. The little one continuing to move around, and he's actually moving out right now. Didn't even bother. He realizes, all right, well, the simulator isn't up yet and the Cybernex core is finished. So again, that's giving him some pretty decent information. We are going to see the little one go for a quick expansion here, going straight into that Expo. Now he's doing the same style opening. We can see those 2 Marines. Here comes out a Marauder, another Rax coming through as well, and there is his first expansion. Now he will be attempting to use these Marines to deny the scouting, but I wouldn't be too surprised if Socke ends up pushing on through, and there it is. He gets the scouting information, forcing those Marines away. I mean, how awesome must that guy feel? It's like, oh, run away from me, suckers. He is just such a baller that everyone runs away from him in the early game. Very impressive indeed. Here comes that Stalker. We'll be trying to kill off the Marine. Oh, very close. Wants to push back, though, before he loses his shields. Got a little bit of extra damage as well. You can see the little one's early game units already softened up, and it won't be until that first medevac comes out the little one's actually able to heal them up. So we have a 3rd Rax coming on through. The little one probably getting ready to move up into his factory as well. Now, Socke scouting that expansion. What is he going to do? That is the question. He's got 2 and 3 gateways coming through. He could go 3-gate expand, or he could attempt to move out with some aggression. We have actually Reaper coming out for the little one, so the little one is moving across the map right now. A couple Marines and Marauders situated at that tower. Here comes the Reaper. Oh, just missing that probe. Could have really gotten that free kill there. We're interested to see where the Reaper is going. Looks like he's moving around here, and he will be scouting out to see if Socke moves into that expansion. Looks like he is going to, so we are seeing a 3-gate expand here from Socke. That usually means sentry heavy. That's just kind of the most effective way to do it. Those sentries allow you to make up for the fact that you don't have a lot of early game units with force fields and with guardian shields, splitting up your opponent's army and reducing their damage. Little one moving now to saturate this expansion. We do have an idle probe over here for Socke. He will probably be used for later scouting and or a proxy pylon, maybe even some proxy tech. That is quite possible, quite possible indeed, although right now it looks like he's just dropping that proxy pylon and then moving out with some scouting information. And the little one getting ready to move into a 3rd again. Second game in the row where the little one says, hey ho, you know what, I want a quick third expansion. And you know what, it didn't work out for him last game. Is it gonna work out for him this game? We do have one Marauder working his way through these destructible rocks right now. We'll be allowing the little one to move up into his third once that finishes. That is so incredibly risky though. We've got another proxy pylon over here in Socke. I do not think... Oh, no. He is not. He might very well not be expanding. Is he going to cancel this, or is he going to stick with it? He's got that proxy pylon, and the reason I'm even mentioning anything is because this means he's very likely to push out sometime soon, but it looks like he is going to let that expansion finish, so he will get that saturated. He's got 5 gateways right now, so he may just be sticking with these 2 bases, get that saturated, and just go for a 5-gate push right now. He is not transitioning into the mid game at this point. He is pushing out. He's going to use his 5 gateways, and he will be trying to overwhelm the little one. And you know what? In all honesty, I'm not too certain what the little one will be able to do because he has dismal forces because he is coming out with this expansion. We can see Socke already at an advantage, but just wait until we get another warping or 2, and that advantage will get much more lopsided right now for Socke. So the little one pretty much holding his own at the moment, but I don't know how much longer that's going to last. We do have an SCV scout moving out, and the little one might be able to scout these forces, and that may tip him off to the fact that a push is coming, but Socke is certainly pushing with these 5 gateways. Again, we see no robo, we see no mid-game transition at this point. He's looking to do a lot of damage right now. Now, if this push doesn't succeed in taking out the little one, then we will probably see a robo come out for Socke and prepare for the next stage of the game, but at the moment, not going to be the case. So we will be seeing Zealots push forward, and with those Guardian Shields, going to allow him to get up a little bit closer to that bunker, even though they will be taking pretty massive damage. Hopefully we see, yes, there's a proxy pylon right here. Socke will be able to warp in right here, and this is fantastic. We got a few more Zealots coming forward, and here we go. Socke moving forward with the push. How is the little one prepared for dropping a couple force fields? And Socke will be doing massive amounts of damage right now. We have the little one forced to come down with some SCVs. Again, because he decided to go for that quick third, this could certainly spell his doom right now. He is going to be quite a bit behind. Looks like he will be taking some pretty hefty damage at this expansion. Force field going down, preventing reinforcements, and actually no, Socke deciding to let that drop because he does want to push in the main. We've got a few more Zealots coming on through, and this push looks to be the end of the little one. He's got an expansion over here. A lot of good that's doing him at the moment. We do have a Reaper doing some economic damage over here to Socke, but is it going to be worth the trade-off? Because right now the little one taking massive damage inside of his main, forced to come out with those SCVs first around. He's losing so many workers, 31 workers killed already so far for Socke, and that number is rising, and the little one losing the 2nd game in the row due to a quick third expansion, and Socke taking advantage of it. The little one opened up this game with the same build we saw from him last game: 1 Rax, 2 Marines, a Marauder, and Expand. Pushing forward with his initial Zealot, Socke was able to force the Marines back for fear of losing their lives, and at the same time scout out the little one's 3rd expansion. Scouting out the little one's quick expand, we saw Socke move into 3 gateways and then drop the expansion of his own. Rather than preparing for a mid-game transition, Socke saturated his expansion, dropped a 4th and 5th gateway, and then pushed out with a 5-gate push. And unfortunately for the little one, he again, just like last game, attempted a quick 3rd expansion. Very greedy, and ended up paying dearly for it. Because the little one attempted for his 3rd, he again spread himself far too thin, and Socke's 2-base 5-gate push proved to be way too strong for him to handle, and forced the quick GG. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this. This was game number 2 here between Socke and the little one. We will be moving on to game number 3 in just one moment. As always, if you guys like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.